There we go. We'll get ourselves started. Amazing. Thank you for dropping by. Come and speak to us. Would you like to? I don't like to steal people's thunder. So, would you like to introduce yourself for us? As sort of a who you are and what do you do?
Yeah, definitely. Well, happy to stop by. And I'm Elliot. I'm the co-founder and CEO at Daigon Esports, where we help international schools empower their students through their passion for esports.
Fantastic. So when people think esports, I've had these conversations a few times with different people, and I've been lucky enough to speak with David again from the company. There's this misconception, isn't there? Misconception is just purely about gaming and students on games all the time, but there's so much more to it, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, again, I think the reason we're here at this AI conference is because all the skills that we're talking about, and one of the main questions of this conference is how can we prepare students for an AI era, for an AGI future, may I even say? And all the skills that we're talking about can really be developed through esports, and it's an interest-based way to develop these skills, right? Rather than like forcing it on the students, why not go from students' interests and build the skills from there? And so happens that 90+% of students play video games. So there you have it.
Perfect way to do it. So tell us a little bit about how then Daigon goes about integrating these esports within the curriculum or education.
Yeah, so we actually start with the after-school club space, just because it's a low-risk space for schools, right? It is a space that is committed. Right? The goal of after-school programs is to respond to students' passions and allow them to blossom, through what they enjoy. And so that's where we start. And so we offer competitions between international schools, because that's another piece of what we do, the global citizenship piece, connecting the international school system. We also have after-school clubs that focus specifically on 21st century skills through game-based learning experiences. So that's the core of what we do. We're looking at the curriculum as well, because that's a piece that we started getting questions on, quite frankly. Is like, okay, cool, we started with after-school clubs. This is going great. I want to take the next step. I want this in my curriculum. But we really start in that after-school club space, offering these two kind of competitive and non-competitive options for meeting student needs.
Fantastic. So the games, what are the games that you offer in that space?
Yeah, so I mean, we're always open to new games, but on the competitive side, we work currently with Minecraft Capture the Flag, which is a very easy game that can run on any school PC hardware, because that's a whole other can of worms that we don't need to dive into. But beyond the will of schools, there's the setup of schools and how they can join what games. So Minecraft Capture the Flag, Rocket League, which is very popular with students as well, and especially in esports at the collegiate level. FIFA, which is also obviously a popular game, and then we also run speed chess, because again, we're open to any game, and some schools have just asked us, hey, we'd love to connect with other international schools. We have this chess club. We don't know what to do with competitions. Can we run some speed chess competitions? And so, as I said, we work collaboratively with schools and looking to always respond to what they want. So that's what we're currently doing.
Fantastic. So there's always going to be that conversation, isn't there, about and playing devil's advocate. People talk about, is it beneficial? Do students need this? Surely they're just playing games. Like we've already kind of said, there's a lot more to it. But what do you see as the benefits, especially for students and the generation that are coming, of being involved in these types of things?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a ton of scientific research into all the benefits from a purely like cognitive level, skills level, like very scientific. There's all the career exposure. The video game industry is a $330 billion industry. It's bigger than the music industry, Hollywood, and the video ads industry combined. Right, we're talking behemoth of an industry with a ton of job opportunities across the board that respond to students' interests. Talk about real world exposure, real world learning. We're right in there as well. But I'd say at the simplest level, right? Like, what is this? What is the simplest benefit here? If I may, like, bring it down to it, is okay. We're not like students are going to be playing games regardless. So, do you want them doing it, at home, online with friends, but at home in a non-structured environment where they're not really getting it, as much as they could out of it, or at school with an educator there that's working on their 21st century skills, being part of the school, belonging, finding their place at school, representing their school, and kind of getting all the benefits that we get from regular sports, from other activities, and really helping with engagement. We actually have a teacher here who's part of our COVIS esports competition, and I caught up with him earlier in the day during the coffee break. What he told me is that they picked students that had behavioral issues for the team. Like he purposefully picked students with behavioral issues. And he said that he's been super amazed at the transformation of students since they've been participating in esports at the school. He's like, you know, they behave much better, they're much more engaged, much happier to come to school, and he's really seen a shift in their behavior just by being involved in this activity. And I had read about that, right? I had read reports about how in the U.S. they've done studies about this, but hearing it firsthand was, just another again confirmation of what the studies show and a firsthand testimonial of that. So that was really inspiring. So if anything else, that.
It's great news. So, what is the future? What does the future hold for it, and the future hold for you at Daigon? What are you doing next?
Yes, I mean right now we're really we're continuing to build out our partnerships with different major associations. So as I mentioned, Kobe's esports team, we have the BSNE esports games coming up, and we're in talks with a few other similar orgs. Building out our own leagues, right? We keep getting demand, so just getting our schools involved and improving the leagues. I really look forward to our first in-person world championship like playoffs. Once we kind of have a league that's across each region that can produce a nice kind of playoff pool, and then have a really fun in-person event, and that's something that's in the back of my mind as next steps. But yeah, just keep doing what we're doing and make sure that more international schools can keep joining in this area.
That's amazing, Elliot. Thank you so much for dropping by and speaking to us today. Safe travels, because I know obviously you've got a busy few days ahead of you and where you're going, and continue doing all the fantastic work and bringing esports into schools around the globe.
Cheers.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Awesome. 7 minutes.